The coffee pot dragged like lead in Maya's hand, her third double shift that week carving exhaustion into every muscle. The 24-hour diner's fluorescent buzz gnawed at her brain. Faces blurred, mumbled orders, crumpled singles, her cracked smile barely holding. The bell chimed. A girl, 16 or 17, slipped inside, oversized hoodie swallowing her frame, jeans threadbare at the knees, shoes chewed by miles. She moved with deliberate slowness, each step seeming to cost something irreplaceable. Wide, dark eyes swept the room like a hunted animal searching for cover. She chose the furthest booth, cracked red vinyl nobody wanted, and raised the laminated menu like armor. Maya watched from behind a customer's cup. Most late-night kids were loud, wired on energy drinks and drama. This one was silent, radiating a bone-deep desperation that sliced straight through Maya's own fatigue. A frequency only the chronically tired could tune into. 10 minutes passed. The girl stared at the menu as if it were written in code. Finally, a small, trembling hand lifted. Maya walked over, notepad ready. "What can I get started for you?" "Just coffee." "Black." The voice was a dry rasp. Then, so soft Maya almost missed it, "and water. Lots of ice, please." When she returned, the girl's hands shook violently as she reached for the glass. She drained half in 3 frantic gulps, ice rattling against her teeth, then wrapped both palms around the steaming mug, not to drink, but to steal its warmth. Her eyes fluttered shut for a heartbeat, a ghost of relief crossed her face before exhaustion slammed the mask back down. Maya kept working, refilling ketchup, wiping counters, but her attention stayed hooked on the corner booth. This wasn't ordinary tiredness or broke kid hunger. This was primal fear, the kind that carves people hollow from the inside. Maya recognized it instantly. She'd worn that hollow herself once. The girl became routine. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock sharp the bell rang and she ghosted in. Same booth, same order, black coffee, ice water. She'd nursed the coffee for hours, dropping sugar crystals one by one from the dispenser, stirring with slow, hypnotic circles. Never ordered food. Always watched the door. Maya began leaving, mistakes, extra crackers, a bowl of soup, claiming the kitchen overprepped. First time, the girl froze, body coiled to bolt. "It's gonna get trashed anyway," Maya said casually, already turning away. After a long beat the girl ate, fast and furtive, like someone might snatch it. No words of thanks, but once, across the length of the diner, her eyes met Maya's. Gratitude lived in that glance, huge and wordless. The iron hounds were the diner's other constant. A dozen or so leather and denim men who roared into the lot on bikes that shook the windows. They claimed the back section, loud and crude, terrifying to tourists. But they tipped fat and never harassed the staff. Maya knew them. Predictable in their own way. Their president was bare, gray-streaked beard, face like weathered granite, hands the size of plates. He spoke mostly in grunts and nods, carried an unnerving stillness that made him scarier than the loud ones. Always sat with his back to the wall, seeing everything. He noticed the girl. Maya was sure of it. But he never said a word. One Tuesday she came in looking half dead. A deep purple bruise circled her left wrist, ugly against pale skin. She tried tugging the hoodie sleeve down, but Maya saw it when she set the coffee down. Their fingers brushed, the girl flinched hard, a reflex born of repeated pain. Maya's stomach turned to ice. Later, in the alley dumping trash, the metal lid clanged shut. Through the thin kitchen door she heard the girl's voice, frantic, whispering into a phone. "I don't have it. I swear. I walked here. From 3 towns over. Nothing left." Pause. Maya held her breath. "No, please don't. Just a few more days. I'll get it. I promise." A choked sob. The call cut off. Seconds later the girl stumbled back inside, face gray, body shaking so badly she had to grip the booth edge to stay upright. She stared into her empty cup like it might solve everything. Maya stood frozen among the dumpster stink. Cops. The girl would deny it all, terrified, and then her tormentor would know someone noticed. Worse danger. Talk to her directly. Risk sending her running from the only place she felt even a sliver safe. Her eyes drifted to the back table. The hounds laughing over steak and eggs. Dangerous men. But she'd seen Bear gently move a stray cat out of his bike's path. Seen them dress down their prospect for mouthing off to another waitress. Their violence had direction, outward, not at the vulnerable. A reckless idea took root. She wiped sweaty palms on her apron and walked to their table. A dozen hard stares pinned her. She ignored them, locked eyes on Bear. Bear. He studied her, slow sip of coffee, mug set down with a soft click. Maya. She kept her voice low. See the girl in the corner booth. The one here every day. She looks like she's running from something ugly. Reminds me of someone I knew once, caught in bad trouble. Bear's gaze slid to the girl, hunched shoulders, fixed stare, then returned. Silence stretched thin and sharp. His right hand flexed once, knuckles whitening. Then a single, almost invisible nod. Storms are bad, he rumbled, voice like distant thunder. Nobody should face one alone. He pushed his chair back. The scrape made the girl flinch. His men rose as one. They left half-eaten plates, paid tabs neat on the table, and moved, not toward the exit but toward the corner booth. Heavy boots fell soft. They formed a loose semicircle around her, not caging, shielding. A wall of leather and muscle between her and the rest of the world. She looked up. Pure terror. She shrank against the vinyl, ready to bolt. Bear crouched, slow, careful for a man his size, bringing his eyes level with hers. Respect. De-escalation. Hey, kid, he said gently, gravel wrapped in velvet. You okay? The question cracked her open. Face crumpled. Shoulders shook. A tear carved a clean line through the dirt on her cheek. Tiny head shake. No, she whispered. Another biker, Stitch, long gray ponytail, leaned on the next booth. Waitress over their worries. Says you look like you're running from a bad storm. The girl's gaze darted to Maya. Maya gave a small, steady nod, the silent alliance built over weeks of coffee and crackers. I am, the girl choked. Bear's expression softened further. Name, Lena. All right, Lena, you don't have to run anymore. You're with us now. Tell us what happened. The dam broke. Words tumbled in sobs and fragments. Stepfather, beatings, money he demanded she didn't have, running in the night with only the clothes on her back, walking miles on blistered feet, empty stomach, constant terror. The diner went still. Other customers, the cook, everyone listening. The bikers, faces changed. Jaws locked. Eyes burned with cold, righteous fury aimed at the monster in her story, not at her. Stitch turned away, wiping his face with a scarred hand. Another stared at his boots, throat working. When Lena's voice gave out, Bear extended one massive hand, palm up, not touching, just there. An offer. A vow. You're not going back, he said. Not suggestion. Law. That life ended the minute you walked through that door. He glanced at Maya. Gratitude so profound it shifted the air between them. You saw her. You trusted us. Then motion. Doc, a former army medic, examined her wrist with careful fingers. Someone fetched a thick blanket from a saddlebag, wrapped it around her shaking frame. Stitch ordered a cheeseburger, fries, milkshake, set it in front of her. Eat, kid. You need strength. She stared at the food like it was treasure, then ate, slowly at first, then ravenous. Bear walked to Maya at the counter. He dwarfed her. For a second old fear flickered, then vanished. Good eye, he said low. Heavy hand rested on her shoulder, not threat, anchor. Most people don't see what's right in front of them. You do. I just couldn't do nothing. That's the difference. All the difference. He laid a thick stack of cash on the counter, enough for their tabs, Lena's future meals, probably Maya's rent for months. For the trouble. He turned away before she could argue. They stayed until she finished every bite. Then Bear crouched again. We got a place. Safe. Friend named Sarah runs things at the clubhouse. She'll look after you. No one touches you again. My word. Lena looked from his steady granite face to the circle of men. First real smile, small, watery, touched her lips. She nodded. They escorted her out like royalty. Bear beside her, others forming a moving perimeter. At his bike he handed her a helmet, a thick leather jacket, settled her behind him. Engines thundered awake, not menace now, but protection. Maya watched red tail lights disappear down the highway. The diner felt suddenly huge and empty. 1 year later Lena had color in her cheeks, light in her eyes. Sarah mothered her at the clubhouse. High school enrolled. Bikers rotated checking homework, half comical, half fiercely tender. The stepfather vanished. No one asked how. Maya became family too. Car broke. Stitch fixed it for pie. Landlord tried raising rent illegally. Bear visited. Problem dissolved. 5 years on, Lena's in college, second year, studying social work, determined to help other kids running from storms. When she's home, she sits at the big back table, laughing with the men who saved her. Maya no longer waitresses. Bear slid her an envelope years back, investment, not charity, and she bought a small failing coffee shop across town. She poured everything into it. It thrived. She named it the Corner Booth. Quiet afternoons she stands behind her own counter, scent of fresh grounds and pastries in the air, and remembers that Tuesday. How simple it would have been to pour the coffee, take the tip, look away. Courage isn't fearless. It's acting anyway. One person noticing. One person speaking. One small choice. It calls down thunder. Builds family. Saves a life. Never underestimate what happens when someone decides to see.